Swole Benji here to show you the ways that any character can farm gold using the world itself as well as whatever professions you choose. I'm going to showcase a slideshow of infographics from data I've collected in vanilla as well as from beta streams and from networking across over 15 discords. The goal of this video is to give you a set of tools you can use as you play Classic to get the most out of your playtime. Feel free to reference this guide anytime you have free time and want to farm some gold. One reason I made this was so I could have a faster and more convenient way to reference information. There's no reason to watch an 11-minute video to just see where the rare spawns in Stranglethorn Vale are, nor is there a reason to donate $20 to a Patreon for a guide on where to drink in a dungeon. I'm aware I could spread this content into like 10 videos, but that would just be greedy and unnecessary. Shame on other YouTubers who use this platform to clickbait and waste people's time with misinformation. Before we begin, I just want to say I'm not a graphic design artist, I'm just a dude. These infographics are going to be pretty bare bones and simple. If you have OCD and the smallest things misaligned will set you off, this may be hard to watch. I'm going to cycle through these rather quickly. Feel free to pause the video on areas you want to see. I have ordered them from lowest level zones to highest for your convenience. So let's start with the rare spawns. At the top you'll see the zone name and level range. The colored dots on the map represent the rare spawns, and to the right is the master key, as in which color dot represents which mob. I also listed a range of respawn times, and listed unique or interesting gear that the mobs can drop. I am fully aware that there are other videos that covered this content, but I feel you shouldn't have to watch an 11-minute video to learn just where the rare spawns in Stranglethorn Vale are. That's just stupid. Do note that rare spawns in the level 1 to 10 range don't always drop a green item. In later zones they will always drop a green based on the level of the zone. I highly advise using layering to your advantage in phase 1 to farm as many rare spawns as you can. In the beta, I witnessed a few people able to fill up an entire bag of blue bind on equip items from this alone. Layering will be removed in phase 2, so do this while you can. I type /target and the name of the rare mob when I'm within 60 yards or so of their spawn to see if they're up. Some rares will wander very far from where I listed them here. If you want to swap layers, just /who the starter zone and ask a low level player to invite you. It should load you into a new layer and you'll be able to kill more rare spawns. I highly recommend only farming rare spawns where you are much higher level than them, as some rares are quite dangerous and immune to certain attacks. Next up is the treasure chest spawns. Now only a set number of treasure chests can exist on the map at one time, so if you see multiple dots nearby, that doesn't mean a chest will be at every single one, but one chest can spawn out of that cluster. Chests generally have a green item and several other random items contained inside. I tend to chest farm while I rare farm, as well as gank lobies and mine materials. Don't worry, we'll get to the trade skills after this. If you want to be a jerk when farming other faction territories, just leave one item left in the chest. Imagine the rage when that night elf hunter loots a chest with nothing but a single glass of milk. I don't do this because I generally cycle through zones multiple times a day. Remember to abuse layering to get multiple chests. There are some chests that I saw on the beta streams, which I never recorded in vanilla. I'm not sure if it was a chest Blizzard added out of a mistake, or if the server I was watching wasn't actually a beta server. Either way, it seems like there might be more chests this time around. Maybe it was something from the Legion client. I included information from nearby zones so you could cross over for quick loot, then come back and finish the area. I also included zones with very little chests so you can plan your routes accordingly. I'll say there's nothing more fun than going to a lobby zone and sapping some poor low-level alliance player, looting his chest right in front of him, doing a /lol, hit him with a Will of the Forsaken, and finish him off with a Cannibalize, the ultimate disrespect. Now I'll cover mining nodes. I'm aware this might be slightly changed in the updated Blizzard client, but these are the spawns in vanilla. I painstakingly mapped these out across 5 different realms and 4 expansions. These are the spawns that were in vanilla, and if Blizzard didn't get them right, then they can use this video to correct their mistake. Either way, if Blizzard is slightly off, these will still get you close enough to detect the metals you're looking for. I understand mining isn't the best moneymaker, but it's a solid, reliable way to farm. By abusing layering and having proper routes, you will easily be able to farm an epic mount in a single play session. Yes, I said an epic mount. I made so damn much money off mining and had so much spare material for engineering, I could just make all sorts of fun stuff to use all the time. Combine the other two farming methods shown so far to profit the most. I main a rogue, and I can stealth through areas and caves and mine stuff much easier than other classes. Any class can pick up mining, even a holy priest. If you level mining fast enough early on, you'll have all the rare metals to yourself and can make big bank early on. There's nothing more satisfying than having tons of metal in your bank and even more flying off the shelves in the auction house. People say mining falls off late game, but they're wrong. Less and less people take up mining late into a server's life, so if you're the only one with dense stones, you're automatically in the monopoly. Furthermore, early on in a server's life, you can combine mining with engineering to be very intimidating, or even make huge amounts of vendor cash by making and vendoring grenades. When it comes to world PvP, having engineering goggles will scare others into avoiding you. Have you ever seen people asking you to cod them meat just for a small markup of what you'd vendor it for? I bet you're the type of guy that just vendors all their meats. Well, this list is for you. This is the AFK gold per hour cooking chart. For a list of all the items you should save, look at the bottom right. Don't ever vendor these. You'll make way more money cooking them and then vendoring them. Just hoard them on an alt till you've got some AFK time, or try to snipe good deals off the auction house. Though every server I play, auction house bots always buy out these meats. Make sure to kill every single dig rat you encounter, as the early silver is super worth it. I don't have data on every single herb and its locations, just the best selling ones. In vanilla, I eventually dropped it completely since there was just too much competition. I will say herbalism is the #1 gold making gathering profession to have. There was just so many people at all hours of the day ripping these flowers up that I only ever got a massive hauls after server restarts. If you find some good spots, make sure to abuse layering to get way more than you normally would. So we all know Devil SARs are the actual #1 best gathering profession, but that's assuming you're part of the price-fixing Devil SAR mafia, and you don't feel like using invulnerability potions to steal the mobs. Skinning is still a good moneymaker though. I picked out my top places for the best leathers. I believe warlocks to be the best skinners in the game, as you can kill mobs while skinning others thanks to fear and dots. It's important to always have a surplus of certain items in your profession to be constantly selling. I've got a nice list of them here. This is taken from years worth of auction house scans in vanilla, as well as literally everyone's opinion that played any server ever on the best selling items. The engineering items are for popular quests featured in everyone's favorite leveling guide. Leatherworking had too many things to list, but generally anything with agility and stamina will sell. Tailors can get away with int and stam gear, or intelligence and spirit gear. Blacksmiths can offer lobies, and early server starts some very nice weapons for steep prices, but later on, all they have left is chains, spurs, enchanter rods, and spikes. Alchemists should avoid selling healing potions, as rogues have that market covered. I've got my top picks for mob grinding at 60 or even in the high 50s. Note that this is from a rogue perspective, so mages actually have better options for AoE farming. I didn't list the rock elementals and badlands, cause that place is always camped and it underperforms the Inger Claws anyway. Silithus will always be packed full of players at all times. I generally hate grinding here unless I'm in at least tier 2 gear. I just get into so many damn fights, and the mobs are pretty tough. Stone Guardians are usually controlled by the Devil SAR Mafia. Don't sell the Greater Nature Resist recipe until the AQ40 phase. It's a huge price spike. On Horde side, wool starts to become scarce. I usually farm low-level mobs in Duskwood and gank anyone that tries to quest for this. Makes very good money, and ganking lobies is always fun. Now for dungeon grinding. My no life, no friends having self back in the day farmed 100 of each dungeon and noted the results. I know these screens are pretty damn bare, but I didn't have time to go through and redo 100 more for loot testing. This section really only applies to classes that can clear at least 5 dungeons per hour. As for the later dungeons, it will take a group to clear 5 times, unless you're sitting in a prot pally with Nax gear. so you'll have to divide the gold per hour with however many people you have farming with you. Gnomeregan and Zul'Farrak are the two best dungeons to grind out depending on your gear level. If you're in greens, then Gnomer is the best, especially if you hit the fused wiring lottery. These things go for about 10 gold each on most developed servers. Zul'Farrak is the best with a proper farm group or with a tier 3 prot paladin. I wasn't able to test anything beyond Zul'Farrak back in the day due to losing interest, and I'm sure as hell not doing it now. But every class should be able to solo at least Razorfin Downs. I wanted to cover more things, but the more I researched this topic, the more I found Blizzard Stealth nerfed a lot of my favorite farms. Fairbanks used to drop 3 greens per kill and was my #1 go-to farm spot as a fresh level 60 rogue. It was about 60 gold an hour in 2004, but now it's barely 20 gold per 5 resets, which don't really take an hour honestly, but it still isn't good enough. I didn't list pickpocketing or the LBRS farms here because I don't think they will work on Classic. But these methods are more than enough to keep you from being bored, AFK, in town, burned out, or unproductive. Just following any of these at a casual pace will get you an epic mount within a week. I know I didn't cover everything either, like enchanting, cause that's my Money Planet 60. If you want to learn how to make big bucks with enchanting, then check out my live stream, right here on YouTube. I only stream here on YouTube, and I'll be showing off everything else you might want to know. Also, hit up the Discord and be part of the Swole Squad. Also, hit up that donation link or leave a comment. I reply to just about everyone. Hopefully this guide helped you. Go ahead and spread it around on Twitter, Facebook, Reddit, those Chan sites, barons.chat, MMO Champion, etc. It really helps me out. If you want more rogue related stuff, then subscribe and make sure to click the bell thing. I noticed on channels I didn't click the bell, I got randomly unsubscribed from. As always, be a bro and stay swole.